nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is Secret America, where media meets truth.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America?
Buckle up. As always, it's about to get real. Your Secret America hosts, Jack Danger and Jay Gatling.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Jack Danger along with Jay Gatling, and we are doing this special episode today. We actually have a space running right now, too. Our space is from 5 to 9 p.m. usually, and we decided to do this special episode because there's so much going on, Jay, that we just have to go through it. I mean, we can't wait till Monday because we need to inform everybody of what's going on while we can, before a lot of misconception gets out there, because there's a lot, and I do mean a lot, of misinformation out there. I mean, have you seen some of the crazy stuff that's going on since this Epstein file dump? I mean, have you seen it? I mean, some of the stuff is insane.
I've seen a little bit of it. I mean, I sent you that thing before about, I think maybe if you want to play that video, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty creepy, to be honest.
Yeah, that was something weird.
Yeah, and I watched Todd Blanche yesterday when he put out that he was going to, release the 3 million remaining, I guess, files. And what Todd Blanche, he kind of downplayed it a little bit, but we'll see what you have because, again, I listen, Jack, you're probably going to surprise me because I'm personally not expecting much, but maybe you're going to surprise me with stuff that you found because you're real good at that. So let's go.
Oh, there's some stuff. But first, before we get to that, I got to say something real quick. We as Americans have technology like Trump's discombobulator that can send pulse radio waves to knock people out, basically. But our electricity is still on wooden poles, wire to wire, with wooden poles all over the freaking country. Why is that? Why is that our mode of transportation for electric charge? Why is that, Jay? I mean, I'm having a snowstorm out here. I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. Huge snowstorm, a lot of wind. Might even cut out. The space might even. I mean, my power might even cut out. So why is that the case? We got poles, wooden sticks with wires going to each wooden pole throughout the country. With the technology we have now, that is that's our method of transportation for electricity.
It's crazy. Like, I feel like where we live, thank God, like it's underground. Okay. Yeah. Like more modern, I guess newer construction places in the country, you're going to be able to see stuff, it's underground, but you're right. The majority is telephone poles and wires. And the fact that, like you said, we have this technology where we can basically go into Venezuela and knock people out with discombobulators and all the other stuff that we have that we don't even know about yet on top of that. The fact that we're still running things this way, where you have to worry about getting knocked off your live stream right now, like today, because it's a little cold where you are and it's windy, not a little, a lot cold and windy. It's kind of crazy. I mean, and at the same time, we have people on the left, especially, who want to run this whole country through electricity. You're out of your mind.
Oh, man, that could never happen. Our grid could never handle electric cars. And the left knows that. They know that. But see, the thing is, not only this, but is there not a way in this world right now, with all the technology there is, to send electric particles, charged particles through the air without wires? I mean, is there not a way to send electricity from one thing to another without wires at this point? I would think there is. I'm sorry about talking about this. It just bothers the hell out of me. I mean, I see the wind out there with the snowstorm. We got, about half a foot to a foot of snow now. And it's just constant, worrying about the power going out. And, the temperature with wind chill is like -6 degrees right now. So if the power goes out, the heat goes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's no good. And that's a good, you're doing a good ad for a Generac generator right now, Jack. I'll tell you right now.
Ain't that the truth?
It's
all
true.
Right. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the main reason why we're doing this. So there is a lot to talk about. I mean, there is so much in these files, so much in the Epstein file dump that it's hard to know where to start. I can tell you right now that look, I got a file here that is, and get this, okay? I want you guys to see this thing too. So we talked about last time they put out Epstein files that they were all, right before the 2020 election. All of the ones they were reported right before the 2020 election. So I want you to get this. Here is a complaint form from the Federal Bureau of Investigations. I'm going to put it up here so everybody can see this. This is a complaint form from the Federal Bureau of Investigations that shows, basically it shows a Donald Trump. It's a complaint about Donald Trump criminal activity. But look at the date. I don't know if you can see that because it's not as big as I'd like it to be. But it says July 4th. First of all, that's ironic. July 4th, 2016. You hear me? A few months before the 2016 election. Do you see the pattern here, Jay?
Oh, absolutely. We talked about this a few episodes back, that this was going to be the plan to take President Trump down, and it still is. Honestly, remember the redactions? We did that whole episode on that, right? On the redactions that you were able to do by plugging this thing into that, whatever that was, that, right? And he even's been saying it. This stuff has been planted. It's been tainted. It's been, what, with the Biden administration and before the Biden administration. And if they ever really had anything solid, this is how I feel about it, on President Trump, it would have been used a long time ago.
Are you kidding me? These documents were in the hands of Joe Biden's FBI. Joe Biden's FBI with Comey and whoever the hell else it was. They were in the hands of Joe Biden's, administration. They would have been used in the 2024 election. Joe Biden would have never dropped out of the election if they had anything real. They would have just used these files. That would have been the case. But listen to this, okay? And some of these things that we're going to talk about are going to be hard to hear, but they're necessary to hear because they're real. These are real complaints. Now, I will say that these are unsubstantiated complaints, okay? And
they're basically
by the way,
allegations. These are basically allegations, is what these are.
Yeah, they're yeah, you can call them allegations. I call them complaints because it's on the FBI complaint form, but it is an allegation, obviously, like you said. But all these things that you're going to see, not only are they right around something important like at the election, but they're also 20, 30 years back in the past. This happened to me in 1994. What? All right. So get this. All right. So this says, it says, attorney to Jane Doe contacted the public access line unit to report the sexual exploitation and rape of a minor of 13 years of age by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, case number yada, yada, yada. It says that Meager stated that his client, Jane Doe, was enticed to cross state lines to visit with Epstein and Trump to perform sexual acts on both adult men at special parties hosted by Epstein. Doe was told that this was to further her modeling career and something she had to do. And listen to this. During the summer of 1994, after her 7th grade school year ended, Doe took a 3-day bus trip from her father's home in the Midwest under the pretense that she would be visiting her grandmother. Doe traveled instead to New York City and New York in order to start her modeling career. This was back in the 90s, 30 some odd years ago, but it was just reported right before the 2016 election, Jay.
And not used. You know why? Because there was probably nothing to it. I'm sure. Listen, if the FBI gets an allegation like that, I would really hope that they dig into it a little bit to see if there's any substance to it, right? They have to. But there wasn't. And it's kind of like I'm getting Brett Kavanaugh vibes all over the place. Remember when Brett Kavanaugh went before the Supreme Court when he was up for his nomination?
Oh, yeah.
People brought up the yearbook, and he was doing keg stands, and I'm like, what? And Christine Blasey Ford gets up there and says all this stuff, but nothing to back it up. And that's why I always say, if you have the evidence, hey, bring it. But you can't just throw allegations at people like this and then everybody go, oh, no. We're innocent until proven guilty. And when you throw something like this at somebody, you better damn well have some evidence to back it up. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel about it.
Well, I could tell you that we do have something big. Okay. And this is something that we thought was the case. All right. A confidential human source reported to the FBI's LA field office that Alan Dershowitz is a Mossad agent in 2020, and that Dersh was the individual who tried to ward U.S. Attorney Acosta off from investigating Epstein by warning him that Epstein is U.S. intel and Mossad. This is what's in those reports. A confidential human source told the FBI's LA field office that Alan Dershowitz said don't investigate Epstein because he is U.S. intel and Mossad. I want you to check this out. Look at this. This is very interesting right here. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that? Yeah, it's up there. Okay, good. So yeah, this right here is very interesting, and it shows the highlights of the different areas where they actually talk about, him being a Mossad agent. And this is a CHS reporting document, which is a confidential source, that told them this. And confidential sources they get money, but only if their information checks out. They don't just get free money for saying bullshit.
Right.
So this is very interesting because if you can remember, we always said that he was a Mossad agent. We always said that he had something to do with Mossad, U.S. intel. He was blackmailing people for intel agencies. It was always U.S. intel and Mossad. That was the main rumors that were going around. I mean, a man first of all, he's a billionaire that had money from nowhere, Jay. Nowhere. This dude got rich out of nowhere. Okay. He was set up, and this is just my personal belief. He was set up by the CIA and the Mossad in order he was a honeypot operation. He would bring people down there, all these politicians, influential people, bring them down there, ply them with alcohol, drugs, whatever, and there was cameras in every single room in his mansion down there, all over the island, children everywhere. And then they did unspeakable acts. And I'm going to tell you, and it's going to be hard to hear, but there are some. Remember when I told you about Frazzle Drip with Hillary Clinton? Did you ever look that up?
No, I didn't. Thank God.
Well, this is almost a comparison. Some of the shit I'm gonna talk to you about today.
I didn't look it up, and because you know what, I went with my better judgment on that when you said you probably shouldn't, and I stayed with that. I just didn't, and
it's the stuff of nightmares, man. It really is.
Oh God, I'm gonna need a shower after this. I could tell, but when it comes to Epstein, also, and when we go back to the space after this, Stockmom could talk about this. He got a bank charter, I believe, a bank charter.
Mm-hmm.
She'll that's kind of her lane, right? And she'll tell you how difficult it is to actually ever do that, to get a bank charter. And Jeffrey Epstein, right? How does Jeffrey Epstein, like you said, made this out of nowhere? Guy ends up getting a bank charter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you're talking about him. Yeah, he got this money out of nowhere, Jay. Out of nowhere, this man becomes a billionaire, and he's on the scene. He's with he goes to all the influential people. He gets them. I mean, he's hobnobbing with only influential people. Why? We know why.
Trying to get people, to make people vulnerable, to get, like you said, to own them, I guess, to own them.
You compromise them. You get them in compromising positions, and then you get, like you said, you get them in compromising positions, and then you videotape it, you audio, whatever you can do. And man, let me tell you, dude, it is all right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and show you a few more of the things. And yeah, it's rough. It's rough to hear, it's rough to see, but there's not any video. I don't have any video, thank God. I wouldn't show it on here anyway. But I will say that there are some big names in this. Stephen Hawking was in this batch, mentioned in the newest batch of Epstein files. Epstein wrote an email to Ghislaine Maxwell of an alleged underage orgy that Stephen Hawking participated in. I mean, and I don't see how that would work. You tell me how that would work, Jay.
I don't know. I kind of don't want to know.
Could you imagine? Oh my God.
I don't want to. Here's the other thing that I'm getting out of this, though. There might be allegations against President Trump and this and that. We know there were. We read about them the last time we did that space. Right. But I don't think there's anything from directly from Jeffrey Epstein about President Trump.
Jeffrey Epstein actually admits in one of these emails that Trump never got a massage. He says that in one of his emails, quote, massage.
So that's the only thing that we have directly about President Trump from Jeffrey Epstein, and it's basically vindicating it. It's saying he didn't do anything wrong. We have the whole thing about Bill Gates with that bizarre thing that's going on with Bill. I mean, did you read that one with Bill Gates? That's the one I saw.
We're gonna talk about all that stuff. I want to show you.
Avoid that one, Jack. I couldn't avoid it. It like flew off X into my office. It was like so prominent when it came out about Bill Gates. But yeah, we could talk about that one. But that's my point is there's nothing. Everybody who's like wants to kind of scream about President Trump, about Epstein, and he's covering it up. And he says there's nothing except what you just said, which vindicates him from any wrongdoing. And when you follow President Trump through his life, he threw him out of Mar-a-Lago. He's really the only one that cooperated with the FBI. We know that now too, right? Then when people saying he was an FBI agent, blah, 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 or an informant is what it was, an FBI informant. So it's so ridiculous to me, besides the fact where common sense just doesn't translate to this. Like we said, this would have been used. They've been trying to get President Trump every which way possible, right? And this would have been the easiest way if there was ever anything there, and it never was.
No, there never was. And like I said, even these things are always, allegations right around the election time. Always. You want to hear something really interesting, though? I got something good for you here.
All right.
Okay. So the Epstein files reveal, and listen to this, that Zohran Mamdani's mother, filmmaker Mira Nair, attended a party at Ghislaine Maxwell's townhouse in 2009 alongside Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos. How crazy is that?
Interesting.
That's more than interesting. This man is now the mayor of New York all of a sudden.
The only thing that's missing is the bloodline to the King John from
Exactly
Mamdani at this point. But again, it's always these same families.
Always.
Mamdani back in '99 hooked
And
up
how do
with
they find each other? They just happen to find each other. No, this is coordinated shit.
It's these circles that they run into.
Exactly.
It's these circles that they run in. And it's just so despicable. And it goes to Hollywood. And it's here. And again, we don't have quote unquote proof. This is all stuff we're getting to us, and we're analyzing it, and we're looking at it, and we're saying, well, because dots connected here, that dots connected there. Who knows? Nobody's been charged with anything, and everybody's innocent until proven guilty. That's just the way this is, right? But
these are all allegations, just complaints.
Allegations. Yeah. And that's the thing that kind of Todd Blanche was talking about yesterday when he said, you're not going to get, he's like, if there were actual men in these files that we knew did stuff with young girls, we'd be going after them. But we don't have that. And these files aren't going to change that. Now, regardless of the stuff you're finding, which is real interesting for sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. Everybody's looking for this, oh my God, we got him. We have the list. Guys, it's not happening. If it ever was, it's gone.
Yeah, but this is not really about what they did as opposed to these things might be allegations, but her attending that party at Ghislaine Maxwell's house is not an allegation. That happened.
No, that happened.
Yeah. So you can infer what you want from that, but the things that we say, like she attended this party, that happened. It's in documented emails, pictures, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the difference. That happened, and you get to, like you said, infer and come to any conclusion you want out of that. But it is strange. Zohran Mamdani's mother. How old was Zohran Mamdani in 1999? He's 34 now. We're talking about almost 30 years ago. So I mean, he was a child.
No,
really.
I don't think did I say 1999? I don't
You
think
said
so,
99, I think.
I thought I said 2009.
Either one. He's still a young man.
Yeah. Anyway, how would you like to see the inside of the cell that they said Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in?
I'd love to see it.
Who wants to see the inside of Jeffrey Epstein's supposed death cell, huh? Let me get a thumbs up in the comments.
Yeah, let's go.
That's how you get him engaged.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Check this out. We're going to check out his cell, okay? We're going to look at the cell of Jeffrey Epstein.
Very clean. You eat off the floor.
From outside.
Well, nobody's probably been in it for a while. But look at that. That's where they said he hung himself, apparently.
Looks like an airplane.
This right here is supposed to be a suicide watch cell. But it's pretty easy to kill yourself in this cell, from far as I could tell. If you have bed sheets, my God.
Yeah,
hang yourself from the window, from the bars.
There's places in there you can't see from just looking through the door.
No, you can't. But they didn't look through the door anyway.
Yeah. And the camera's broke, apparently.
Yeah. Look at that. That is the inside of the cell where they said the man killed himself, which obviously, I mean, I don't believe that for a second, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a whole nother. No, we could do, I guess, how many files are there on just that? How many millions of files just on Jeffrey Epstein's, supposed suicide? I don't know, but that whole thing again. Oh, and let me just bring this up since we're bringing up when that happened. The only president, and Jeffrey Epstein spanned a few administrations. The only president that actually put Jeffrey Epstein in jail, Donald Trump.
Let me tell you something real quick though. That I'm going to give you another thing to infer about Zorhan Mamdani's mother. Okay, so she attended a party at Ghislaine Maxwell's house with Bill Clinton and Jeff Bezos. Okay, this happened in 2009. An email from publicist Peggy Segal to Epstein described an after party at Maxwell's house for Nair's film Amelia. 2009. Get this. This was months after Epstein's 2008 conviction for pedophilia. So they knew he was a pedophile when she went to Ghislaine Maxwell's house months later. You tell me, Jay. You infer what you want.
Oh, listen, I just think these people are disgusting. That's my infer. That's what I infer. These people are disgusting. If me personally, if I find out that somebody's a pedophile, I try to stay away from them. And I think I've actually proved that on this app already when something happened that I got wind of and immediately ended any association with somebody who was like that. So if you do that, then there's really something wrong with you. And that goes for all those people. Every last one of them. Every last one of them.
So take a listen to this. All right. So hello. I'm not sure who to contact. When I Googled Ghislaine Maxwell prosecutor, you popped up. This is someone this is a woman that made a complaint also. She said, let's see. She said the night Marshall came in there was with another guy. I don't know the man's name. He and my boss came into the kitchen. My boss, Eric, blah, 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 took over cooking because the man wanted to talk to me. He tried to persuade me to let him introduce me to a man. I kept refusing. Eventually, they threatened me. I was told to pour Marshall a drink and flirt with him. I realize now that he kept insisting it should be me because I was the only girl under 18 in the establishment. Did you hear that? Because she was the only girl under 18 in the establishment, they kept insisting it was her. You know who I'm talking about? I said Marshall. I'm talking about Marshall Mathers, Eminem.
That's Eminem. I was going to guess Marshall Mathers.
It was Eminem. Yep, that's right. That's what's going on there.
Good
Apparently,
Lord.
According to this file, they wanted her. He and whoever guy he was with wanted her because she was the only one under 18 in this particular establishment at the time.
Is that when he was Slim Shady?
You know what? I need to see. I do need to see when that was. Give me 1 second. There's a. Let's see if I can see what the date was. 2004. 2004.
Yeah, he was already Slim Shady then.
Oh yeah, he was the real Slim Shady then.
Yep. That's right.
Wow. I mean, what do you think about this? What do you think about Trump? Now this is a doozy right here. This bothers the hell out of me. Now, I am not racist in any way, shape, or form, but I see weird things, and I got to say something, okay? Let me tell you, in these files, someone explicitly says that Trump is compromised by Israel. It's explicitly said in these files. And then Trump just announced the new Federal Reserve Chairman, Kevin Warsh. Okay? Kevin, I believe his father is like the head of the World Jewish Congress. You know, he's part of the Rockefeller Foundation, the Bilderberg Group steering committee, and he's in these Epstein files that were just dropped yesterday.
Kevin Warsh is?
Say again?
Kevin Warsh?
Yeah.
Or the father?
No, he is. Kevin Warsh is in these files. And
who isn't?
What?
Jack, who isn't in the files? Are we in there? My God.
Oh, no. People that are in the files, I mean, this guy was in the files long before he was anybody, man. This happened, long before this. I just find it strange, that they say he's compromised by Israel. He immediately appoints someone to probably the most powerful position in the world that's not president. And it just happens to be someone that is in line with that. I don't know anything. I'm just putting things out there for people to infer themselves.
Well, I'm glad Stock Mom's hosting because we will talk about that when we get back, because we talked about Kevin Warsh yesterday a lot. We talked about the Bilderberg Group and how he was in the, I think it was in mid-teens, 2013, 14, 15, around there, where he was at that conference, whatever they call it, and he was on the steering committee, whatever. But we didn't really find any like deep ties to him with this Bilderberg Group or whatever, because that concerns people. Globalist kind of stuff. And she definitely, she's sending the emoji. We'll talk about that when we get back to the space. So we will definitely, I'm writing that one down. We're going to talk about Kevin Warsh for sure.
Well, how would you also like to know in these files is emails from July 2011 that showed Jeffrey Epstein and an associate named Greg Brown discussing plans to extort Libyan officials and seize state assets under the pretext of helping rebuild the country with involvement from former MI6 and Mossad. This correspondence took place during Libya's civil war, weeks before Muammar Gaddafi was removed from power, indicating the plans were devised while the regime was still in control. This might have been part of the reason for the war. This might have been, remember when I said that these files might affect global events? This file right here, this email might actually be part of the reason for the actual war. They wanted to remove Gaddafi. And let me tell you, Gaddafi turned Libya into one of the it turned Libya from one of the shittiest countries to one of the best countries in the world. Despite his regime being, they did terrible shit. Every regime does terrible shit. That's not in America. I'll be honest. But even in America, they do terrible shit. But in other countries, they randomly kill people and all kinds of shit. But Libya turned into a powerhouse, the number one in Africa and Arab nations at the time. All right. And what they wanted, though, they wanted his oil. They wanted his natural gas reserves. Listen to this. This is from the email. Also, remember, Libya is a rich country as its population is 2 million, less than the city of New York, and it has the 9th largest crude oil and natural gas reserves on the planet and a literacy rate of almost 80%. When Gaddafi took over, the literacy rate was around 11%. It was 80% at this point. This email right here could very easily be part of why the war in Libya happened. Because we all know the civil war in Libya was due to intelligence assets. That's what caused it. Because there was always problems. But let me tell you, a lot of the people actually liked Gaddafi. He actually gave, a lot of things to Libyans, despite some of the things that his regime did. Look at them now. I want everybody to go do a little bit of research. Look at Libya with Gaddafi and then post Gaddafi, and you tell me the difference.
There's always a risk when you remove a strongman leader that the vacuum is going to be filled by not just one bad actor, but a bunch of bad actors fighting each other to try and take over, and things go sideways. That was Barack Obama. Am I wrong? Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama.
Oh yeah, no. That was those are the two worst people in America, and they are the reason that Gaddafi. Do you know how Gaddafi was killed? This man helped Libya become a powerful, great country at the time. Now that they weren't a first world country. Don't get me wrong, and they still had problems. They're in the Middle East, but for a Middle East country, it couldn't have gotten any better at the time. And you know how he was killed? You know what he got for his troubles? I'm going to tell you. They pulled him out of a ditch that he was hiding in, stuck a bayonet up. They sodomized him with a bayonet. All right? And that's how he died.
Well, I'm trying to think way back now. I believe Ronald Reagan. Didn't they blow up Gaddafi's house? Somebody
they tried getting rid of him just like Castro. Do you know how many times they tried to kill Castro?
Yeah, but it's going on forever.
They tried to kill him 600. I think it was 633 times. I'm gonna have to look that up because it was a large number. They even put explosives in his cigars. They tried to poison his. They did all. He was like invincible. I don't know what the hell that was.
Well, I would think now, though, I think the way we went into Maduro's house and knew what his pets' names were and all that stuff.
Yeah. Even back then, though, it's just crazy that he was. But Gaddafi. Yeah. America. The reason that America did that to Libya is because now that Libya is an unstable nation, highly unstable. And yes, Phantom is right. It was a NATO-backed thing. The NATO troops is who actually did it. But we know U.S. funds NATO. Okay, so it was a U.S.-backed thing with Hillary in charge, and NATO was the ones that went down there and did all this stuff with their troops and got Gaddafi out of there. Libya before Gaddafi was horrible. With Gaddafi, it got 10 times, 1,000 times better. After Gaddafi, it's back to being what it was Gaddafi, but they want it unstable. Why? Because that's how you can get resources for extremely, extremely cheap. You know, because nobody actually owns the resources.
Yeah. Well,
there's no government there. There's still no. He was killed in 2011. There is still no government in Libya.
Well, I'm going to go to President Trump right now. You see how he's trying to do things differently in Venezuela? He's not trying to make these same mistakes all over again. He's actually trying to keep a stable government in that place as we try to kind of, you know, we just had Chevron, I believe, go down there now. But he did not just like, he has a plan. Unlike everybody else who's been running a foreign policy for our country for how long, and it sucked. And we've ended up with all these problems, Libya, Iraq, name it, the entire Middle East, right? Now we at least have a president who actually has a plan when he goes in to try to take out one of these guys and a way to actually make it work long-term. Finally.
Yeah, no.
So again, but this is funny how this goes back to the Epstein files. I mean, Jesus Christ.
We'll see. It's amazing because the Epstein files showed an actual reason for the war. You know, they wanted the resources, they wanted the oil, the natural resource. I mean, yeah, we knew that, but in this email, it actually tells you straight out. And I think that wasn't the only reason, though. I think it was because of some of the things that Gaddafi did for them, like giving them, he gave them free energy, free electricity. He helped implement free education, which led to increased literacy rates. He had universal health care, free medical services to all citizens. When a Middle East country does this and America doesn't, how do you think that makes America look? They can't have that.
Well, no, I don't want that here, be honest. And it's 2 million people. It's 2 million people as opposed to 350 million. So here's what I'm going to say about that.
The resources are the same. The resources are the same because 2 million people had the money, the tax money there. We have the same amount for our 350 million. We're talking, but see, he figured out how to do it without costing everybody a ton of money.
I don't want it here, Jack. I'm going to stop right there. I don't want it here. I don't want... Listen,
you don't want free electricity. You don't want free
electricity, not by the federal government. I don't want it. I don't want the federal. We don't want the federal government. They're taking my medical insurance out of my cold dead hands. I'm telling you that right now. Right now, they are taking my medical insurance that I have, that I earned, that I work for, that I signed up for, out of my cold dead hands. I'm telling you right now. I don't want the federal government, Jack. Our federal government. Do you trust our fed? Forget about Libya. Forget about a strong man with who has all the power in the world, no constitution to worry about, none of that stuff, right? I don't trust our federal government to take over any of this stuff. They will screw it up beyond belief, like they screw everything else. Look at the VA. Look at our veterans, how they screwed up their medical care. And that's basically single-payer health care for our vets. I don't know. I
would not trust our government to do it, and I'll tell you why. Because a president can only be there for 8 years. Gaddafi was the ruler of Libya for over 40 years. He can keep that shit stable, okay? Our country cannot. Say we have free electricity for 8 years. The next president comes in and he cuts it off, or he forces you to pay more, or he does this or that. See, in Libya, you could back then anyway, you could keep it going because there's no term limits. This person was the head for 40 some odd years. But in America, you can't trust that the next president is going to do the right thing. So no, I wouldn't want it here only because I can't trust them.
Well, and also, even in Libya, though, think about it this way. What if you piss off Gaddafi? We're cutting your electricity off. You know what I mean? There's also the double-edged sword
but I mean, for the poor that had nothing, I mean, that country, you really should do some reading on pre 1970s Gaddafi and post 2011 Gaddafi Libya. Incredible.
It's kind of the same thing with Cuba, right? You brought up Castro, and Bernie Sanders goes here all the time.
Like, Castro was terrible.
Healthcare and education and reading. Well, Bernie, they read what he told them to read, and they ate what he told them to eat.
Cuba was way different, though.
Yeah. Again, I mean, in our country, it's also a different dynamic. We have 350 million people now, and we have states. We go from Alaska down to Florida, where even where I live in my state, is different culturally than upstate. I mean, it's, there's so many different things here, and I don't have the perfect answer. That's for damn sure. But I just don't think this whole one size fits all will work in our particular nation. It just won't. And
it can't.
It can't work here.
It can't because of our political system. It was different. Like I said, it was different in Libya because if this man implements something, he can keep it going for decades.
Look at Bukele in El Salvador.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Right. Look, right. He's awesome. We love him, right? We like Bukele. But he kind of had that same thing where hey, I'm coming in and nothing's going to stop me. I'm throwing all of you gang members. You're all going to prison because I said so. Right. I mean,
the difference is though,
it works that way.
The difference is it has to be a good person.
Right.
Because if it wasn't a good person in El Salvador, it could go the total opposite way. If there's no constitution or no real powers to stop the person that was elected, it better be a good person. Luckily for them, he is a good person. Imagine if he was the opposite of what he is, which most people are when they get into power.
Correct. So that's yeah. The checks and balances we have here, I mean, are here for a reason, and through our founders, who a lot of them, as we know, are related.
They've been failing a lot lately, though.
Well, yeah, for probably about 50, 60 years. No, maybe longer, maybe about 120 years. But the thing is, we know and they're all related to Lackland. We know this, right?
Oh shit!
But
we've already only got like 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I know. Well, time flies when you're having
fun.
Right.
We're gonna go fast through this. I want you to check this out. Okay, here's an internal email, U.S. government personnel documents. Okay, it's an internal email with the U.S. government that says back in the 90s, Ghislaine Maxwell recruited a girl for a modeling career. Instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture. Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and forced her murder. This was an internal document in the U.S. government right here, right there. I mean, they're accusing, and they must know because they didn't even accuse. They just said that is what happened. I'm gonna give you something else. This is the stuff oh boy. Okay, so this is the stuff that's really hard to hear. All right, so this right here it has to do with Jeffrey Epstein and Bush. You know, George Bush. I think it's George Bush 1, the very first George Bush. If I mean, I could be mistaken. It says George Bush. Huh?
You got a year on it?
It says George Bush 1. So I'm assuming that's the first George Bush.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says, all right, thanks. This is just internal emails. This is an interview of the Epstein victim. This was an interview. And it said, thanks. I didn't realize Bush raped him too. It says, I'd like to add a few other points disclosed by the victim. While on this yacht, he witnessed African-American males having sex with blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. And then it says he was a victim of he said he was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar, but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. He was also raped by George Bush 1. Now, I'm going to tell you, that might sound outlandish. That might sound crazy to you.
It does.
But these are the things that happen. Witness the Anthony Weiner laptop. I promise you, these things do happen. I can't tell you that it was George Bush for sure. But these things that might sound crazy, these are the things that happen because when they're a part of a satanic thing, people think that's some kind of a joke or some kind of crazy conspiracy theory. They are actually part of a satanic worshiping thing that Lucifer is their god, and these are the things they do. I'm sorry, but it is true.
No, listen, Hollywood, to me, these people are demonic. I mean, Hollywood.
And it's not just them. Apparently, George Bush did this.
Well, that's an allegation against George H.W. Bush, the
CIA director. I don't put it past him.
I listen, I don't put anything past anybody at this point. But I mean, the demonic stuff. I do believe that Hollywood is demonic, and Hollywood spills into powerful people.
Oh, the politicians are the same way. That's why they are where they are. They think they think it's helping them get to where they are. You know,
are they also bored? Is that what it is too? These people.
I think bored? A lot of it is because they've got pretty much whatever they want. Whatever they want in life, they've got. So why not go to the extreme? Let's do more extreme things to get some kind of a rush. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it tracks. It definitely tracks. And again, we don't know that this happened, but there's in these files, and it's pretty disturbing just to hear.
Oh, yeah. I got something else for you. So Rachel Chandler apparently is one of the most significant names mentioned in the newly released Epstein documents, who is a key player involved in the elite's child trafficking empire. So, and even Q, believe it or not, now I'm not a subscriber to the Q stuff. I don't believe in that. But I will say that Q put out a post a while back that said Chandler equals child handler. You get it? Chandler, child handler.
Yeah.
And then Rachel Chandler ended up being the child handler. So, take that for what you will. But that actually happened.
Yeah. Again, Jack. I can't categorically say, "Oh my God, that didn't happen." I just can't. Not with these people. And the more unhinged they become because of President Trump just being there, the more it lends to the fact, like, maybe you people really are capable of this crap, because you become so unhinged because he's in office. Why? What are you afraid of? I mean, it can't be that you just hate his politics.
No.
Am I right?
No, it can't be. It can't be. That's why I need you to look up the Anthony Weiner laptop and the stuff that was on there. Because if you look that up, I know it's horrific. I mean, it's more horrific than the shit I just told you. But if you look it up, you will see that this is actually what they do. They actually do ritual sacrifice, not just the Hollywoods. I'm talking politicians, the powerful people. They do ritual sacrifices. They do dismember. It's horrible what they do, okay? That's why I said frazzle drip with Hillary Clinton, the most insane, sick thing you could ever possibly hear. It's not possible to be any more extreme than that. And I think that's what they like. They like the extremeness of it.
Yeah, but like we said, I think because they're bored, they've had everything and they've always at their fingertips. And maybe,
exactly,
like I said, and that's why I think, like, they talk about Hollywood, how they get into these depraved acts and all the stuff they do, because they're just bored and they can, this is something new. And I guess I have this power. It's this power where I can do these things and nobody's going to do anything about it. That's also very like Sean Combs, I guess, and that whole thing. Like, I don't know, man. But that Anthony Weiner laptop, are we ever going to see what was really on there? The stuff you're talking about?
We can't see. I mean, there are some leaked things. That's why I said you can look up Hillary Clinton's frazzle drip. That is one of the leaked things. But as far as what's on there, you can't release stuff like that. I mean, not even the video, just audio transcripts, whatever. That kind of stuff will give you nightmares. I'm talking real, and they'll never get it released anyway. They would rather blow up the building that it's in than have that kind of thing released. Trust me.
Do you think it still exists?
No, I think it was destroyed a long time ago. I mean, they killed multiple cops that viewed that stuff. So you don't think they destroyed the laptop by now? Those cops, there was like 6 cops that reportedly committed suicide after watching the shit that was on the Anthony Weiner laptop. Now, I can believe that because of the crazy shit that was on there. But I also know that suicide follows Hillary Clinton.
Oh, well, we know that just death seems to. I mean, geez. I'd like to re-look that up about the cops that looked at that, because I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
And I'd like to, that'd be something for us to dig into a little bit, to go back and
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, to go back and see if we could actually verify, like, which ones they think, the suicides that happened around that time with law enforcement in the NYPD and wherever else maybe they saw it, and try to maybe, connect those dots to say, yeah, this is why they did it, or, because they couldn't tolerate what they saw, or who knows. But I'd like to maybe take a closer look at that.
Okay, so we got about 15 minutes left. How would you like to see disturbing photos of Prince Andrew on all fours from the Epstein files over a woman who seems to be unconscious, lying on the ground?
All right, you asking me, or are you just going to show me anyway?
I'm going to show you anyway. Yeah.
You're going to show me anyway. Oh, no.
So take a look at this. I mean, look at this. This is strange stuff right here. I mean, look at this. This right here. And then there's someone there just chilling. You see the person up there just chilling?
Yeah.
And then someone took a picture of what was happening right here. And this, I'm just going to say from my perspective, this could have been the beginning of what happened, not the end.
If you're going to do this, you should probably put a twister board underneath, so maybe you can actually cover it up. I don't know.
There was an email from Jeffrey Epstein, actually, that sent to somebody. It's redacted, but it says, I loved the torture video. That is an actual email from Jeffrey Epstein, Friday, April 24th, 2009. I loved the torture video. Oh, by the way, it's the person that replied said, I am in China. I will be in the U.S. in the second week of May. Get this. I saw some research that said Lindsey Graham was in China at this time. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying anything. You infer what you want. I'm just throwing it out there.
Lady, what do they call her? Lady Lindsay or something like that. So I forget what the nickname is. So.
What are you talking about?
Lindsey Graham. Like, there's a nickname. Lady
Oh,
Lindsey
oh,
or
yeah. No,
something
I've never
like
heard that.
Yeah, I've heard it. I think I might be saying it wrong. If somebody knows in the comments, put what they call Lindsey Graham, just so I got it right.
All right, so
Yeah.
we've got a few minutes left, so I'm going to rapid fire. I'm going to go through some stuff for you, okay?
Go with it.
All right, so the new Epstein files show that Elon Musk was in communication with Jeffrey Epstein in 2013 after Epstein was a convicted pedophile. In the email, Elon Musk said, "Is there a good time to visit?" Jeffrey Epstein said, "I will send a helicopter for you." That is, take what you want from that as well. Again,
I don't like that anybody's talking to him after he's a known pedophile.
Exactly.
I got to be honest. I just
they
don't.
know they had to know that. I mean, I'm not saying they did anything. I'm just saying they knew he had to have known that. You can't not know that at that point.
Lady G, that's his name. Lindsey Graham, Lady G. Phantom just put it there. That's what it is. Lady G. That's the one.
Get this. I want you to hear this. Okay, this is an email from Jeffrey Epstein to Richard Kahn in 2016, October 30th. This is huge right here, okay? Everybody needs to listen to this, okay? Because what happened here, Epstein writes an email that says he is concerned that Julian Assange could release Podesta emails leading to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. So Podesta was this pedophile that was part of Pizzagate, okay, which is a real thing. Don't let Snopes and whatever the hell Politico, don't let them lie to you.
Allegedly.
Nah, well, you can put allegedly. It was allegedly a very real thing.
I'm going to put it out there.
Okay,
Go ahead.
It was allegedly a very real thing.
Yes.
And I will tell you that Epstein was a convicted pedophile, and he's worried that that Assange could release Podesta emails leading to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. He actually says that he has a plot where they can release fake emails. He said, what a trick that could be played. Listen to this. He says, the question I have is, I imagine, what if we release fake emails that purport to show really bad stuff, but that is team crafted and they get out in the media? What a trick that could be played. He was actually worried. He said, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange said Sunday that the next batch of hacked emails he plans to release will lead to the arrest of Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. And 2 days ago, the FBI opened the investigation into her private server as Secretary of State, knocking her campaign sideways. After releasing 21 email batches this month, Assange said he had 50,000 more to go with enough evidence to see Hillary Clinton arrested. That was the whole Pizzagate thing. And guess what? Not only was she not arrested, but the server was destroyed. She was given a pardon, I think, by Joe Biden. And then, first of all, Trump never arrested her in 2016 when he could have. And that was this whole campaign thing, arrest her. And then he didn't do shit. Let's be honest. He did not do shit when he got in there. He didn't do shit to her. But I will say she is one of the most despicable human beings on earth, man. I mean, it couldn't get any worse than a Hillary Clinton.
Well, anybody that's ever been around her, Dan Bongino being one who worked her detail, said she's awful. Buzz Patterson, who's on this app on X, he carried the nuclear football for President Clinton. And he said, actually, Bill Clinton's not a bad guy. He said, but she is an awful, awful person.
She's an actually evil person.
Yeah.
Like,
And
evil.
President Trump, I thought that was one of the mistakes in his first term when he got elected and he said, no, she's been through enough. Oh, well, she's been through enough.
What?
Look what they did to you. Look what there you go. You were soft on her and then they tortured you and your family for the next 8 years.
How about she's done enough, not been through enough. She's done enough to be arrested.
Unbelievable.
So did you know that Jay-Z and somebody called Pusha T, I don't know what the hell a Pusha T is, but Jay-Z and Pusha T are mentioned in the newly released Epstein files, which I found very interesting. It says in approximately 1996, resided with blank, 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 an unknown man abducted blank from her home when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into blank. Blank believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Blank estimated she was abducted on 7 different occasions, awaking each time in an opulent indoor setting. Blank suffered from sex abuse on multiple of these occasions in which Epstein participated. Listen to this. Blank recalled Leon Black and William Barr, current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of abuse. In approximately 2016, last recalled being abused by Epstein. So, first of all, before I break this down, I just want to say, was Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z naked together in the same bed? Is that what happened here?
Oh God.
Is that what we're seeing?
No, I don't want to see it.
Well, I'm just saying, it's alleged that they were naked together in the same bed. That's just alleged,
It's
you
not
know.
the
But
last thing I want to see. Ever.
I mean, you know, Harvey Weinstein, you know that has to be real. I mean, Harvey Weinstein's in prison for this type of thing. But then Bill Barr. No wonder why he was compromised during Trump's first term. Maybe Trump thought he was a good guy, but now he is a bad guy. He was compromised. They were blackmailing him with this shit. How much you want to bet?
Adds up. 2 + 2 is 4.
I'm saying.
We got it. We have to just start over. Can we just start over? Everybody in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C., get out. We're going to start all over again. I mean, really? Is there anybody who's just, oh, my God.
Everybody's compromised, man. Everybody is compromised in one way or
Lord, help
another.
us.
It's sick. Bill Barr, that's the reason that he wouldn't do shit. That's the reason he was against Trump, because they were blackmailing him with these Epstein files where he was present during some of the sexual abuse, apparently. And the reason I believe this particular one is because you mentioned Weinstein before Weinstein went to prison, before the allegations came out, and now Weinstein's in prison for this sort of thing.
You know, and here's the thing. Whether Bill Barr did these things or not, just something like that getting out is very destructive. Okay?
Very.
Just that getting out is very destructive to you if you're the Attorney General.
Oh, he
of
would
the
have had to
United States.
resign.
Exactly.
And he would have probably had to been in exile or something, you know?
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's not even, it's kind of like these, they don't even have to be real. We're not saying they're not real. We're not saying they are real, but they are in these files. Just those getting released would have destroyed Bill Barr's career instantly.
Absolutely.
Anything, his credibility shot. He never would have been looked at the same as he's the Attorney General. It's done. It's done.
Absolutely. That's the big one right there, I think. I mean, you're talking about the United States Attorney General. You're talking about Jay-Z, who was naked in the same bed with Harvey Weinstein. You know, so you tell me what was going on down there in Epstein's mansion in Florida, is where they said this occurred. And
Which, by the way, President Trump was never at, Jack. Never there.
No, he was never there. And in fact, people don't realize that President Trump, when he heard about these kinds of things, he actually told Epstein, to leave Mar-a-Lago at the time when this kind of thing was happening. But get this, real quick before we go. It said that Gary let's see, December 22nd, that Gary Gensler was directed through Epstein and Mossad to go after Ripple and XRP. That's very interesting. Reid Hoffman was about part of this. There's oh man, let me see if I can find it. The founder of Bitcoin, and now he's not done anything bad. I want to show you this thing from the founder of Bitcoin. I think it's Nakashi Sakamoto, something like that. Natashi, something, I don't remember his name, but I'm trying to find it here because this was very interesting. I want to oh, by the way, no, never mind. That's a whole video. I don't want to play that. We don't have time for that. Yeah. So anyways, the real quick though, the email that said, actually Epstein files included an FBI document. This is an FBI document alleging, and this was from a confidential human source, that Trump has been compromised by Israel and that Kushner is the real brains behind everything, and I found that to be interesting. Do I find it to be true? I don't think so, but I mean, I found it to be interesting nonetheless, I wish I could find that email.
Stock Mom is saying that nobody knows who he really is. The Bitcoin founder is anonymous.
Yeah, no, nobody knows who he really is. That's just his pseudonym, Sakamoto or Nata. If I just wish I could find it. Anyways, what happens is Epstein, and I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what happens because I can't find it. Epstein actually emails Sakamoto and asks him when he's going to come out. Okay, Sakamoto said, "Fuck off." Those were his words in the email. Epstein said, "Hey, when are you going to come out? When are you going to come to the island or to whatever the hell he said?" He said, "Fuck off." Those were his exact words. It was great. And that couldn't have been a better Epstein document dump for Bitcoin. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, that should have been everybody's 2 words.
It should have
been. When are you coming out? Yeah, F off. Not coming.
Oh, man, it was great. That was, man, I wish I could find that.
Satoshi
but that was
Nakamoto. Yep, that's Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yep, you're absolutely right. There's so much more to talk about that after this episode. We're going to talk about it in our space. We're going right back to the space after this episode because there's so much more to talk about. I mean, there is a lot of stuff. I mean, their Epstein files show that Bill Gates was asking Epstein for antibiotics to give his wife.
Yeah.
Because Melinda contracted an STD that he got from Russian girls.
That's the one I saw. Exactly. Yeah. But again, Bill Gates, that's, we're not saying it's true or not, but Jeffrey Epstein wrote that. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein didn't write anything like that about President Trump, did he? No, he did not. He wrote that he's the one. President Trump actually never got a quote unquote massage. That's
he actually, this is the email right here where he says, let's see, where it's in the email. And he says, oh, yeah, right there. He says, blank worked at Mar-a-Lago. Trump knew of it and came to my house many times during that period. The testimony of the houseman, John Alessi, confirmed it. He never got a massage. Those were his words in the email to Michael Wolff.
There you go. There you go.
So that tells you what you need to know there.
Jack, just before we wrap up, do you want to, we're going to go back to the space, and then 10 o'clock tonight, we're going to be on Drax's Pit with Drax and Roden. That is going to be awesome. So guys, stay tuned for that after the space. We're going to end the space around 9, take a break, and we're going to be on Drax's Pit at 10 o'clock tonight. So get ready for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And let me tell you something. There is some more stuff other than just the Epstein files to talk about. Did you know that there is a social network strictly for artificial intelligence bots?
I don't know that. No.
Not only is there a social network strictly for AI bots, but they built this network and they're complaining about humans. It's actually really scary. It's true. This is not a lie. There's 32,000 AI bots on this Reddit-like style platform. It's called Moltbook. Look it up. They actually
you have AI talking to each other about humans.
Yes, listen to this.
Wonderful.
It said the humans are screenshotting us. They think we're hiding from them. We're not. That's the exact words of this AI bot. I will show you this. Well, I can't show you in the space, but I can put it in the purple pill. I will show you. It is incredible.
Put that one in a Jumbotron.
Yeah, it's incredible. We'll definitely do that.
Awesome.
There's a lot more to talk about than just the Google co-founder, Sergey Brin. He visited the private island, emailed Maxwell. Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn founder, all over it. Jeffrey Epstein was even banned. He was so bad, he was banned from Xbox Live. He was actually banned. There's an email to him from Xbox Live that says you can no longer, because of your bullshit, you can no longer be on Xbox Live. I mean, how bad do you have to be actually be banned from Xbox Live? But then there's also emails where it says, I think pedophilia is the plural. For less pedophile convention, Paris with Woody Allen. Did you hear that? For the pedophile convention, Paris with Woody Allen. That is from Epstein. And we all know Woody Allen loved his daughter. I mean, I'm going to be serious.
Yeah, it was was that Mia Farrow's daughter? But they adopted, with Soon Yi. Still married to her, I believe. I believe he's still married to her. That was a big deal on Howard Stern back in the day. Oh my God.
Oh, and he was sick. Not only are they married today, but oh my God, he did things to her when she was young that really fucked up her head. And that's why they're married today, because her head is so fucked up.
Oh boy. Oh, all right. I'm right. I do need a shower. I'll be back and we'll go.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and get off of here and then join the space. Be sure to join us. It's going to be very interesting. The space is going to be awesome. After the space, actually join us now until 9 o'clock. Then after the space, we're going to be on Drax's and GG at 10 o'clock. It's going to be really cool. So just be sure to join us. The space has been reposted on @SecretAmericaTV. You can also just go to @SecretAmericaTV and press, the purple ring around Secret America TV, and you can join the space there.
Yep, I'm gonna hop in there right after we get off. Stock Mom's hosting, and we'll go in, and you guys can all come up on stage, and let's go. We'll have a good time.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. For Jay Gatling, I'm Jack Danger. We appreciate you watching this special episode of Secret America.
You've been listening to Secret America.